Welcome to Tech News of the Week with your host, a blackjack dealer who's just kind of winging it.
Welcome to Tauntauns of Northwest Westchester. This is our weekly tech news podcast where we talk about 4 news articles that caught our attention. I'm Ned, with me is Chris. And since Chris, you handled the big episode this week, I'm going to kick off the tech news. Rock Band DLC ends after 16 years. 16 years, almost able to drive in PA. We'd have to make the 16 and a half. Did you know that?
I thought you were going to say almost able to drink. I'm like, well, I mean, that's only half of Pennsylvania.
So there was a very weird period of time in the mid-aughts where grown adults cosplayed as rock stars and strummed plastic instruments with embarrassing intensity. And listen, I'm not casting aspersions. I was one of those alleged adults. It started with Guitar Hero and then later Rock Band, which I picked up in 2007, shortly after buying my first house. There is, let's just say, a pretty epic New Year's video from 2008 of me crooning to Enter Sandman while my wife wails on the drums. Yeah, you got an image in your head, and I know you do.
I don't know how to undo it.
Yeah. While most of us exited the fever dream of this general milieu in the 2000s with nary a thought to our injection-molded faux instruments, there remained a cadre of die-hard fans whose voracious appetite for rhythm games simply could not be quenched. And thus, we have 16 years of Rock Band downloadable content released on a steady drip to the afflicted. There are almost 3,000 songs in the Rock Band 4 catalog, and they will continue to be playable into the foreseeable future. This is not the end of Rock Band. It's merely a cessation of the new DLC songs. Now, in case you're interested in dipping your toe back into the harmonics waters, a copy of Rock Band 4 with instruments will set you back about $800. Used. New is not an option. While I was initially tempted to revisit my days of glory, I'm afraid a price tag that triples the original cost that's not tenable. Air guitar on a tennis racket, it is.
Could have been big, man. Could have been big.
We're huge in Japan.
7-year-old Apple class action lawsuit finally pays out. 2017 was when we were all super outraged that Apple was intentionally slowing down older phones for what they claimed were battery life-based reasons. Which, actually, observing all the evidence, there's a small chance that this was true. What Apple didn't do, however, was tell anybody about it. Which was, in the parlance of our time, unwise. Conspiracy theories abounded that they were doing this on purpose to subtly convince consumers to buy new devices, which, let's be honest, was also probably true.
Yeah.
Apple was promptly sued, and by then, many consumers, and by that, of course, I mean me, promptly forgot about it. Well, last week, Apple finally started cutting checks. Payment amounts will vary based on something, but reports state that your net return could be as much as $92.
Ooh.
I find this fairly impressive, as I can remember other class action lawsuits getting me like $4.
Yep.
And of course, we don't even have to bring up the Equifax settlement. I think we're all still pretty pissed about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, fun added bonus news. Verizon Wireless is announcing a class action class related to shady fees being tacked on to your cell phone bills.
Ooh.
This one's brand new and might be worth up to $100 per person. But as usual, there is a payout limit, so make sure you sign up now.
Wow, I'm almost sad that I am not on Verizon. Almost. Astrobiotic's moonshot falls short. Pittsburgh-based Astrobiotic will see their Peregrine lunar lander re-enter the atmosphere today. The lander will not survive the re-entry process. Originally, the lunar lander was meant to land on the moon, as implied by its name. But a few hours after a successful launch, the Peregrine encountered issues extending its solar panels. Further troubleshooting revealed that a propellant leak was the culprit, and the lander would be unable to make it to the moon. However, the Peregrine does mark an important first for Astrobiotic, and they received valuable data and insight from the payloads that were on board. Good for them, even if they are from Pittsburgh. An amusing add on to the story is that the Peregrine lander was carrying a physical Bitcoin produced by BitMEX, a cryptocurrency exchange group that you never have to think about again. What do I mean by a physical Bitcoin? It's an actual slab of metal with the private address of one Bitcoin inscribed on the back. The coin was part of the official payload on the Peregrine lander, and it was meant to be left on the moon until some enterprising soul retrieved it. To the moon and all that. To quote the moonb.tc website, quote, "This project underlines BitMEX's faith in the resiliency of the Bitcoin protocol and ensures this world-changing cryptocurrency will be a part of this historic journey. It will be a time capsule that captures one of the most significant inventions in recent history, perfectly preserved for future generations." Shit, Chris, if there's a god, she has a wicked sense of humor.
CES 2024 wrapped up this week, and boy, it sure happened.
Yay!
The annual Consumer Electronics Show just wrapped up in sunny Las Vegas. The show has been a mainstay of the hype train for new stuff to waste money on since 1967, if you can believe it.
Really?
I did not know it was that old.
No.
So the CES is intended to keep up with the consumer gadget zeitgeist, be that television, radio, tape recording equipment back in the 60s to, well, you guessed it, AI in everything in 2024. There was an AI device called the Rabbit R1 that sits in your pocket, which is interesting because we all already have an AI device that sits in our pocket. It's called a cell phone.
Yep.
The Rabbit R1 does have an advantage over the Humane Pin AI thing in that the Rabbit R1 appears to exist. Other things at the show included a case for your iPhone that provides a physical keyboard just tacked right onto the end of the device, as if the modern iPhone wasn't already huge enough. Kohler had their annual ridiculously expensive bathroom component. This year, it was an $8,500 smart toilet. Two thoughts.
Uh-huh.
If you were ever considering paying almost $10,000 for a toilet, don't.
Nope.
Don't do that. Second, if AI ever truly becomes self-aware, a smart toilet is going to be the thing that pushes it straight over into Skynet territory. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're gonna earn it.
Some might say deserve it.
Yeah. Other interesting things, Hyundai showed off the S-A2, a 4-passenger electric helicopter taxi concept thing that could take us closer to Jetson's flying car territory by 2028. And finally, a transparent OLED display that seems genuinely full of possibilities. Imagine a monitor that you can see through. You turn it off and it's completely transparent. So for one thing, this makes the teleprompter market very interesting. Or you could have a 77-inch virtual fish tank where the fish just kind of fly around in space.
Yay?
Shut up. You would love it. But anyway, that's two possibilities right there.
Wow.
But yeah, mostly CES was about putting AI into toasters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
There really was too much to summarize. I don't know if you've ever been to CES, but it is a madhouse. Oh, I almost forgot. How about a Roomba built into the bottom of a washer-dryer combo?
Okay.
Or the privacy-based Astrophy phone operating system, which you have to subscribe to. My recommendation, first off, don't go. Just Google one of the many, many breakdowns of the event that come out almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're reading through the things that they showed at the show, well, just skip the AI crap to go ahead and save yourself some time.
I don't know if you caught it, but Humane went through a round of layoffs for their company that has a product that no one has yet. It's not a good look.
Good for them.
Yeah. All right, that's it. We're done. Go away now. Bye.